In this exercise, we're going to draw the perpendicular bisector of a line segment. The perpendicular bisector of a line segment, PQ in this case, is the straight line whose points are the same distance from the vertices of the segment. In order to get points at the same distance from another one, we will have to use circumferences. If we draw an arc whose center is point P and whose radius is, for example, this one, the one we like most, okay? This one. Every point on this arc is always at the same distance from point P. Okay? We repeat the operation using now center point Q, okay, and using an arc of circumference whose radius is exactly the same as the previous one. Okay. If all of these points are at the same distance from point P and all of these points are at the same distance from point Q, these points where both arcs meet, 1 and point 2, will be at the same distance at the same time from point P and to point Q. So if we draw using a straight edge the line that goes through point 1 and through point 2, we will have found the perpendicular bisector of line segment PQ. This line M is the perpendicular bisector of line segment PQ. Notice for doing this two very important things. One, the radius of both arcs, this and this one, has to be exactly the same. Okay, this radius of this arc is exactly the same than the radius of this another arc, and the radius has to be longer than half the line segment. Okay, and notice another thing, that once we have found the perpendicular bisector of a line segment, it will be the straight line that is perpendicular to line segment and that goes through its midpoint M. This is the midpoint of line segment PQ.